So in the first place, are you satisfied with the action that Parliament has taken?
Hello?
Yes, Doc, you're on air. We are asking if you are satisfied with the action that Parliament has taken on the collapse of these 7 banks.
Well, I don't know.
Hello, Doc. You'd have to reposition yourself, please. Whilst you do that, let me inform listeners that you'll be allowed to give your thoughts on this issue via phone call. So write the number down: 0244 340 437 0302 216 541. Let me go back to Dr. Rashid Draman. Doc, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes, but I am finding it very, very difficult to hear you. Please reposition yourself. Like I said, the phone lines will be opened: 0244 340 437 0302 216 541. Do I have Dr. Rashid Rahman on the line? Okay, I don't have him as of now. So what I will do is that I would give listeners the opportunity to speak. But before that, Malik Abbas Dabo is in the studio with me. Malik, what are the main issues that have been raised when it comes to holding these sittings in camera?
Well, I guess the fundamental point is that this is the people's money. And if the government had to, under the circumstances of the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana had to raise bonds to find money, we are talking 8 billion Ghana cedis to plug the hole that has been created by the collapse of these banks. Then it is important that when the people's representatives, i.e. Parliament, is seeking to probe into this matter, it is done in the public's eye.
So that the public can see.
Absolutely, because you see, it is the people's money and it is depositors' money, and the state had to make an intervention
with
in order
taxpayers'
to save the
money.
situation. Therefore, when you are holding those people accountable, especially people that you yourselves, the Ministry of Finance, the government, the Bank of Ghana, the Banking Supervision Department, all of you say it is these directors who engage in conduct which was in violation of the rules governing the trade and the business of banking, which led us to where we are, and therefore you are seeking to hold them accountable. Why do you want to do that outside of the public's eye?
Okay, Malik, let me get the thoughts of Dr. Rashid Draman at this point on this matter. Good morning, Dr. Draman.
Good morning.
Great, the line is much better now. What do you make, first of all, of this decision by Parliament to hold a hearing on the matter?
I think it's wrong. I mean, in terms of the decision is right, but the approach is wrong. I just heard a little bit of your last statement. This is a matter of very serious public interest and public concern. I mean, if there's any matter that has been of concern that affects a huge majority of Ghanaians in the very recent past, I think it has been the collapse of these banks. And from what we are hearing, I mean, this is not even the end of it. There is probably more to come. So Parliament should do us a big favor by making sure that this matter is discussed dispassionately in the public domain so that all of us can follow.
The arguments made by...
Sorry?
I'm saying that the argument made by Mr. Kezelato Forson is that the issues here are sensitive. And due to the sensitive nature of these issues, it would be best to have the hearings in private.
What is sensitive about this? I have my money with the directors have messed up the system, and this is honestly, my brother, I think we have to be serious in this country. If it's an issue that is bordering on national security, the secret of the state and so on, yes, I can understand. But even in those kinds of domains, countries are unmasking those issues and making sure that the public is involved in some of those discussions. And we have these banks, directors have decided to flout the rules. The Bank of Ghana to not do its work properly, and then somebody saying that this is sensitive. I think the sensitivity of it is the fact that all have to know what is happening at every point in time going forward from now.
It has also been said, Doc, that looking at the sensitivity of the banking sector and the fact that we want public confidence to grow in the banking sector, we may not want everyone to know the nitty-gritties that happened. I mean, earlier we were alluding to how the Electoral Commission suffered a huge credibility hit. The public approval, as per the CDD's pre-election survey in 2012, really went, well, getting to 2016, really went down.
Look, I think that, my brother, there are two sides to this. I mean, first of all, there is our money that has been taken from the Bank of Ghana and given to these people that you guys have serialized, on your networks. But how this money is, without any proper rationale, we don't understand how this happened. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is you and I personally have suffered in this process. And then somebody is saying that this is sensitive. Honestly, then I don't understand the definition of sensitivity. I don't understand the definition of sensitivity. And already, in this 7th Parliament, there have been a number of instances when parliamentary committees have held hearings. And you and I have been in this country. We've heard commentary from the public in terms of the fact that people start by saying the approach that is being adopted, somebody, and so on. Parliament works in the interest of we the people that elected them. And I think this is one matter, honestly, that I think Parliament should do us a favor by making sure that, at the end of the day, they don't create an impression that some interest group is being protected.
Right.
That's just my view.
Okay. Finally, to you, Doctor.
Sorry?
Yes, I said finally on this matter. We understand that the committee is dedicating 3 days to this matter, and considering the extent of what has happened, 7 different banks over a period that spans about 4 or 5 years, do you think that this time is enough to sufficiently deal with the matter?
No, I think 3 days is not enough.
Hello? Yeah, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Draman, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying that 3 days is not enough. We have seen other issues in this had, very far-reaching consequences, like this one that we are dealing with. And has spent a lot of time on those issues. This issue, I think we haven't seen the end of it yet. So honestly, 2 things: Parliament must open. Number 2, I think they should spend as much time as is possible. That can get to the bottom of this. At the end of the day, all of us want to wake up and say we have confidence in our banking system. Discuss in a way that all of us can follow and know what went wrong, what recommendations are being prepared in terms of how to sanitize the sector and so on.
Okay.
We can all have confidence. We don't want to wake up in a country where we all start putting our monies under our beds. That's not the way to go.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Draman, for joining us this morning. He's the head of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, making 2 distinct calls that he ended with. First of all, he believes that the sittings should be held in public, and secondly, they should spend as much time as possible on them in order to get to the very bottom of the matter. Anymore, you have any thoughts on this?
Really, I agree with him. I agree with you. I do think that it should be public. A few years ago, there was this big, massive issue with the Dutch Parliament. And, they did come out to say that, yes, they understand that it can be difficult when you put somebody, an inquiry like that out there, because there's the problem of maybe trial by the media, or it becomes a public trial. But transparency is so important, and restoring confidence is so important. And with this banking thing is so massive. And the repercussions, we could be hit with the repercussions for years, especially for me. The big thing is confidence. And if we're already at 27% of people banking, and that means what 73% of people are not banking, and the
Exactly.
mobile money market is taking over, that side of the economy, and that also comes with a lot of pitfalls, as well. So it's such an issue that has so many different moving parts. But I think that to really get the ball rolling in the right direction, this should be public. It's our money.
Right.
We have a right to
know.
know, in
Okay.
spite of how dirty it is. I think that the only thing is we should be careful so that if we are successful in getting this publicized, that we don't try them, that we the public don't try them, we the media don't try them, but
Okay.
we allow the process to go through.
The right
yes.
process. And Malik, I'll come to you in a moment, but let me hear the thoughts of Dr. Kojo Asante. He is the head of policy, advocacy and policy engagement at Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Ghana. Good morning, Dr. Asante. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Yes, please, what's your input on this matter? Public or not public?
Well, basically, if Parliament is going to hold this hearing in camera, then they shouldn't do it, because I think that would be a waste of time. They can leave it to the Bank of Ghana and Yoko and all the others that are doing investigations. Because, you see, this is a very a serious issue and of serious public interest. The implications are dire for a lot of people, for the system. Sometimes when you want to purge a system, you need to go through these kinds of processes. Yes, it's not pleasant, but we are talking about public confidence. That is also another way of restoring public confidence, so that at least the public at a certain popular level know that people are being held accountable. People are being asked to answer questions. If they are just going to Bank of Ghana or Yoko, nobody really knows who has been called and what questions they've been asked and so on. This process allows people to at least have a confidence that the system is responding to the crisis.
Okay.
And particularly at that level, then whatever you come up with, is beyond the issues of prosecutions or recovery monies through the legal system, but more about the recommendations. And, Parliament is well positioned because the regulator itself is implicated and other people are implicated. This is not even just about banking. There are issues of savings and loans that we haven't even talked about. These are huge issues. There are issues around the insurance sector that we haven't talked about. So this is a real opportunity. So if Parliament is going to do this, they should really think very seriously and do a good job. And there's, determining that 3 days, there's no way you can deal with the matters that are affecting the financial sector in 3 days.
Dr. Asante, isn't it more important?
They either do it in camera or they shouldn't even bother.
Okay, you mean they either do it in public or they shouldn't bother?
In public, sorry, or they shouldn't bother.
Great. Isn't it more important, some would say, that the results are achieved so that even if it's held in camera or in public, we see decisive action, we see solid recommendations, we see changes?
The process is absolutely important.
Okay.
The process, that's what I'm saying. There are already processes going on through BOG, through Yoko and other agencies. That is not enough. You see, this so much on the economy, on the psyche of this. You are talking about regulations. Some of the regulations are already out there. It has not led to, all of the fears that people have, but it has to be done systematically. We need to know and understand how some of these transactions have occurred so that we can be publicly recorded, so we can try to deal with them. You see, the legal process might be different. Somebody, a prosecutor, might be making a decision as to, okay, what should I pursue or not. You won't get the kind of broad, systematic, interrogation of the issue. So for me, it is good that Parliament is coming in, but if they are coming in, then they have to do it properly and ensure that we can get out of this in a much stronger position than we are. So for me, it is very, very essential. You talk about election petition. What happened after that? We were able to institute reforms that address some of the loopholes in the system. We didn't do all of it, but after going through that process, it led to the committee being set up. it led to reforms being implemented, which helped the 2016 election. So I think these processes are very important if it's done well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kojo Asante, for joining us this morning. He's the head of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Ghana. I want to give Malik the final word on this one, and before I go on to other issues. Malik?
Yeah, Daniel, the persons who have been involved in this matter, the Bank of Ghana and the directors of all of these companies, do they have explanations as to what happened? Is it not in their own interest that those explanations are made to the general public of the Ghanaian people? And if you want to build confidence, you have to be transparent. Transparency is absolutely important. Do you remember the Rupert Murdoch inquiry?
Yeah, the wiretap scandals, the news of the world newspaper.
The inquiry was
in the UK.
public, so that the Ghanaian people can determine for themselves whether the right things were done, whether you are actually asking the right questions. At the end of the day, Parliament doesn't do itself any good if it holds this in camera, because the people have no idea what happened. How can you convince the people that you indeed held the directors accountable when they appeared before you? You
Malik,
can convince them.
Whilst you're making this points, let me open the phone lines: 0302-216-541 and 0244-340-437 before we move to Kumasi. Let's open the phone lines now, and then we move to Kumasi. So you can call and the question is simple: public or in camera? And are 3 days enough? Those are two questions. You call, you answer the two questions, and then we move on. Public sittings or in-camera sittings, and are 3 days enough? Malik?
And Daniel, Parliament doesn't do itself any good when it takes some of these decisions, because if you say you are representatives of the people and you are seeking to hold somebody accountable for their actions or inactions, you should do that before the eyes of the very people that you represent, so that they can make a judgment of how well or not you have done your work in holding the people accountable.
Hans from Tema is on the phone lines. Good morning, Hans.
Good morning. Good morning, Daniel.
Great. Hans, the questions are two. You know them, right? Public or in camera?
It should be in public.
Why?
And sorry?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, and why shouldn't it be in public? We've been having all this kind of circus all the time, and they want to choose which one we should watch and which one we shouldn't know. We should go public. It's a whole circus.
What about the 3 days? Do you think the 3 days are enough?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you think 3 days dedicated to an inquiry like this is enough?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you think that having the committee sit for 3 days will be enough to deal with this issue?
Daniel, I can't hear you properly.
Okay, Hans, please try calling us back, and then maybe we can get a better connection. Thanks so much. Hamid is on the line from Tamale. Good morning, Hamid. Good morning, Hamid.
Good morning.
Great.
How are you?
I am blessed. Hamid, how are you?
I'm also fine.
We bless God. Public sittings or in camera?
Yeah. About the bank issue. Can I go on?
Go on.
Please, the sensitivity here, I don't get it. Because the banks were collapsing, and you have already put money inside. And you are saying that once the money is there, no one will lose his money. So where is the sensitivity here? I don't get it.
Right.
There's not anything like sensitivity here. They should let us know those who steal the money. It's very important.
So you want public sittings and not in-camera sittings?
Just let us know those who steal the money.
No,
Thank you very much.
Great. Hamid, I wish you could have given me a clear answer. You want public sittings or in-camera sittings? Okay. Hamid couldn't stay with us. We'll take that as public. Selom is calling from Jamestown. Good morning, Selom.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, Selom, you answer the question, public or in camera?
You said what?
Should the sittings in parliament be public? Should we see what goes on, or it should be in camera?
It should be in public.
It should be in public. Why?
Yeah, you see, there was a time Black Rasta just made a little comment. That it was only something like a gossip. Look at how the Parliament of Ghana treated Black Rasta. Now there is an issue like this. Rawlings warned us against creating first-class citizens. And this is what this country is doing. We are creating first-class citizens based on the have and the have-not. If we don't change, the future will be very bleak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Selon from Jamestown. Paul is calling from Accra. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Paul.
Yes, good morning.
Great. Paul, in public or in camera?
It should be in public.
Why?
And I'd like to add, right, look, we are in a society where there have been a lot of things that have happened in the past. Now, let us take this back to the issues of 1979, the coup that happened, and the reconciliation subsequently to that. All those were held in public for a very good reason, because we wanted to see what had transpired and how to deal with it. Okay? You cannot hide the fact that monies have been misappropriated and mismanaged, and people's lives depend on this. Okay? Their lives depend on this. If you have been given money or entrusted with it, okay, the best thing for you to do is to apply it appropriately. You cannot hold a whole nation at ransom. This nation can collapse as a result of this indiscretion that these people have committed. Okay? I mean, there's so much more that I'd like to say, but I'd like to give others a chance to also call in. But I'd like to leave with this simple fact that it would be a very disservice to this nation if we have this thing in camera. It would be a very great disservice.
Great.
Because sweeping things under the rug like we've been doing all these years. I mean, let me give you one example. If you remember what happened to the A-Life issue, this was several years back when the investigations were conducted. It was shown that a lot of malfeasance had been committed by people within the banking sector again. I hope you remember that.
Yes, very important point, Paul, that you raised there. And we'd have to give Salifu from Koforidua the opportunity to speak, but thanks for calling. Salifu from Koforidua, good morning.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
I'm also fine.
Awesome. So the question is simple. In public or in camera?
In public.
Why?
It is we who send them there. So if they are supposed to sit, why is it the Public Accounts Committee, they sit in public? Is it because the technocrats or the civil servants that they always want to disgrace or what? Or because these people are big men in public? They shouldn't shout anybody. They should sit in public. Let us know what has actually happened. After all, the joint station has even given us the details. So, I mean, why should they be hiding things that they don't want to be in public? They should sit in public.
Thank you very much, Salifu, for calling from Koforidua. Let me take Dick, who is calling from Kojokrom in Sekendi. Dick, stay connected then. Nyamenadum. Good morning again. So the question is simple. In public or in camera?
In public. Why not?
Okay, let's hear why.
Whose money are they using? It's taxpayers' money, right?
Right.
Yes, the taxpayers have the right to know whatever their money is being used for. And they need to know the vivid details, the details of it. This parliamentarians, they don't represent that, they represent themselves.
Right.
Because none of them go to their constituency to seek the opinion of the constituents when it comes to issues in the parliament. They only sit there and take decisions on their own. So they don't represent us. So we need to see this in public.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dick. My last caller will be Nanaba, also calling from Sekendi. Good morning, Nanaba. Good morning, Nanaba.
Hello, good morning.
Great. Which part of Sekendi are you calling from?
No, I am calling from Takrady, Anaji to be precise.
Anaji to be precise? Oh, I used to live in Anaji. Go ahead. Nanaba, you would have to turn off your radio and listen to me on the phone, else there will be a delay.
Okay.
Yes. So do you want in public or in camera?
Yes, I want it to be in public.
Why?
Yes, because that's our money.
Don't you think it's a bit sensitive and this matter should be protected from the public? They are going to be briefing the public after.
Been done is more dreadful than what they are going to do now. Yes, so they need to go in public for everybody to see if they have the interest of of the public at heart, then it should be in public for everyone to hear and then know whatever is going on. We don't want to be held in ransom.
Thank you so much, Nanaba, for calling from Takrade, Anaje, to be precise. I have this interesting tweet here. Enima, you want to give us the content of that tweet?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so Abdullah Tanko says, public. Why? Are they using public funds to bail out or in-camera funds? Good morning, Abdullah. Good point there. I'm so with you on that.
Okay, and I'll allow you to make your final submission in a minute.
Just really, Daniel, I think our biggest fear as Ghanaians is that there will be a cover-up, that the information that reaches us will not be wholesome, will not be the full picture. We are afraid that some personalities may be protected. We are afraid that the story will be watered down. And I think that considering that this is 8 billion of our money, we deserve to know what's going on. I think it's important so that our confidence in Parliament, our confidence in our leaders will be restored. And you know how it was after the EC thing, we seem to have a bit more confidence that if something goes wrong, the right processes will be followed. And I think we really, really, really need this. So hashtag...
Let us see.
Yes.
Why does anyone in Parliament want to give us a briefing? Why do they want to give us second-hand information with all of the personal idiosyncrasies of the person who will be telling you what transpired at the meetings? Why not do it in public? Let the people make a judgment for themselves. Let even the people who are appearing before you have an opportunity to defend themselves before everyone.
Yes.
Why do you want to come and tell us a story that then somebody will come and say, well, I didn't say that at the committee meeting.
Oh, I didn't mean it
like this.
I didn't mean it like
this. Let them do it in public so that the people can judge for themselves.
Okay.
So hashtag let us see.
Yes. Thank you very much, Malik Abbas. Double thank you, Enimwa Enim Ado. The hashtag is let us see. It's our 8 billion. You know what I was thinking about today? We have only 55 ambulances for 29 million people.
Yeah, right?
55 ambulances.
Yes.
When we spoke to Dr. Kusiampofu in Kumasi, I asked him how long will it take an ambulance to come and get you?
Because I think Okujeto Ablakwa donated one a few days ago for
56. So, kudos to you.
Yes.
So I asked him how long will it take for an ambulance to get you. He said it will probably not come. We can't quantify that time, right? But we've just given out 8 billion cedis.
Yes, which is how many ambulances? How many hospitals? That's the UGMC 4 times over.
Yeah, UGMC fully equipped. At the moment, the UGMC we have is not fully equipped.
For 4 times over.
Fully equipped
4 times
UGMC
over.
4 times
with
over.
Staff, specialized.
With staff.
Yes.
With big salaries.
Yes, let us see.
Let us see.
Yeah.
That's the message from Ghanaians to our government. We'll take these important messages. When we come back, we will be going to Kumasi to visit KNUST to find out how people are taking that switch of Unity and University halls to mixed halls. But think about it. What if it was Commonwealth? What if it was Casford? That's a question we want to answer after this.
Blow the candles.